Welcome to this CareTrac Health Information Exchange training video. This video is about colleague messaging, part 2. It's the inbox and the kind of messages you get in your inbox. Right now we're at the portal's homepage, and so we're going to go to the messages area, and this is your inbox. You see here I have 3 kinds of messages. One is a straight regular kind of message, then this one has the word action on it, and this one has FYI on it. This message is from a patient, and this one is from a colleague, another provider. Here's the subject lines. Here are the dates they're sent. You can tell from the envelopes that they've been opened. And this is my inbox, and here's the name up here also. So let's take a look at this first one. We'll click on vitamin D info, and notice up here consultation. So it's a kind of message. This is a consultation message. And here are the message details. We've been over this before, and so it's the regular message. The thing that I would like to point out here is archive. Archive is essentially the delete button. It gets the message off of your inbox list. Once you archive a message, you can't unarchive a message. Also, once you archive a message, you can't delete a message. And actually, you can't delete a message from anywhere. Once it's in your inbox, it's in some place or another. So we'll close this message, and now we'll go to action. Patient cast is cracked. I click on this, and you notice up here, clinical CC, action requested. So this is a clinical carbon copy. Here it is again, clinical carbon copy to me, and it's from this colleague, and it was going to this colleague, and I'm the CC, and I get the follow-up. It's asked me to follow up here. Sent at this time, patient's cast is cracked, blah, blah, blah. Notice here there is an X-ray picture, and so I click on that, and it downloads. Whoops, downloaded twice. Here I can see the X-ray of the picture included in my portal message. One thing to be sure you do, these are downloaded messages onto my local machine. So when you are finished with this, with your session, you would go into your download items and you would delete these pictures from your machine because you don't want PHI out of the portal and on your machine for any longer than necessary. Once you view it, perhaps you need to take this picture and attach it to a message to a different colleague if you wanted to add some text, or you wanted to forward this message to someone else, but you need to get that PHI off your machine. So I'm going to close this. We're going to take a look at this next message, FYI, patient complaint. So you see here at the top, clinical CC, FYI. So it is from this colleague, it was going to this colleague, and I am the clinical CC FYI recipient. Here's the sent date, and here's the little story. The client is in crisis, and they said they're not getting a good care from you, and they're going to file a complaint with the DHS. And so let's discuss. And one thing I wanted to show also, you see here, lock this message. When I click lock this message, it says that you lock this message, and you can unlock it here. And what this means is you are taking responsibility for acting on this message. If I click down here and go to the sender's box, this is I'm switched now to a different user's view. This is the one called James Staff View, so this is a different colleague. And this colleague actually is the person who sent the message to me that we were just looking at. I go into that mailbox just because I have a separate login going with a different browser. So this is not something you can do. We're showing both sides of the message. I'm going to click on this and look at the sent items. And here, patient complaint, and here's to here. So I open the message, and it says this message has been locked by James provider. And so I can override the lock, which means someone has accepted responsibility for this and it goes on the record. If for some reason they are unable to take care of it, or there's a better way to take care of it, then you can override it and assume responsibility yourself. This is a way to indicate across the network that someone is doing something about whatever a message is. I'll close this message and we'll go back to our regular inbox. And so I'll unlock this message and send it to archive. In archive, let's say it says resolved, phone call with patient. I called the patient and everything is okay. Done. And so now the message is out of my inbox and is in my archive. We'll go down to archive now. And here it is, patient complaint, archive. And you see there's no way to get it out of here. There's no delete button. You can print a copy for the chart, and so I'm using a Google Chrome browser. And to print copy for the chart, I go up here to the box, select an item to print, come back down, click on print copy. A window pops up. I'll bring it over here and expand it. And then we have to print copy again. A lot of clicking, but it creates something that can go into the record. And so that in itself is valuable. I click here on change. I have save as PDF, and if you use a Chrome browser, it's always at the top of a Chrome browser to save as a PDF. And so you would save, and that gives you, message for chart. And then it becomes a PDF that I can go into my machine and upload into my EHR. Be sure to go and delete that because that's PHI. And so again, you don't want PHI sitting around on your machine for any longer than it needs to be. So there we are. These are the different kinds of messages in the inbox. Let's go back to our regular browser and our regular inbox. And now back to home page. And there we are. Thank you for watching this video from the CareTrac Health Information Exchange.